men choose to be sterilized by having a vasectomy. What happens if that man wants to have children again? Until recently, he was literally out of luck. But Vivian Rosenberg is here tonight with details on a new procedure to change back what was once an irrevocable decision. Vivian?
Joel, men who've taken responsibility for birth control and had a vasectomy now can have children again in some cases. This is thanks to the refinement of a procedure called reverse vasectomy. New instruments now make it possible to achieve a 50% success rate. That's 20% more than the old success rate, because people have been trying to reverse vasectomy for about 30 years now. If every child is a small miracle, then Marty Shutter, 3.5 months old, is even more of a little miracle. Marty's father, David, had a vasectomy 11 years ago, a procedure whereby David could no longer have children. But David changed his mind when he married for a second time. Vasectomy has until recently been thought to be irreversible. However, now, in some cases, the procedure of reversal is being performed. David had such a reverse vasectomy at the end of 1978, and in March of this year, Marty appeared.
He's a model baby, except for under bright lights.
Given the circumstances of David's vasectomy, think back, and I'm sure you haven't forgotten, when you first learned that you were pregnant, how did you both, what was the reaction?
Oh, we were just hysterical. We were so excited. I think it was the happiest day of our life, really. We were just overwhelmed. We just couldn't believe it. You know, we just walked around and we went out and celebrated, and we just couldn't believe it. I went out the next day and started buying maternity clothes. I was so excited. It was just, you know, such a shock.
David, how about you, that first time that you learned that Carol...
I cried.
He's the first baby born after reverse vasectomy at Michael Reese Hospital. 4 more babies are on the way by fathers who've also had reverse procedures. David Shutter is a special success because chances of fertility returning are better in men whose vasectomies are less than 5 years old. But Marty beat the odds. Dr. KIRIT PANDYA made the miracle possible. Including David's, he's performed 7 reverse vasectomies since November 1978. So few because the operation takes 6 hours of painstaking microsurgery.
Vas is a tube which conducts the sperm after it has been produced in the testicle. What we are doing is applying microvascular surgical technique in putting the 2 cut ends of the vas together after removing all the scar tissue. The suture material used in this particular process is the most unique one. It's extremely small in diameter, and extremely fine. It's almost 1/3 the thickness of human hair. The tools used have an extremely finely engineered points. As a result, very fine sutures can be placed in an extremely small structure which is magnified close to 2,500 times.
It was like 4:30 in the afternoon, and we called this lab, you know, in the neighborhood. And he said, if you hurry up and get here, I can run the test. And we got there as fast as we could, and it was like 10 minutes to 5, and we're waiting, and finally he comes out. He says, well, what did you want? Oh, no, he said, what do you want to be? And she said, well, I want to be pregnant, of course. He says, well, you are.
That's remarkable. But Dr. Pandya cautions, do not regard vasectomy as reversible. After all, it is surgery, and surgery should only be done when it's a must. Gentlemen?
And it's, as the doctor described, major surgery compared to the surgical technique for the actual vasectomy.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Vivian. Coming up next,